Welcome to the Briarwood Sports Review podcast. Here are your hosts, Mia and Ellie.
Hi. Welcome to the Briarwood Sports Review podcast. This is our host, Ellie B.
This is our co-host, Mia I.
And we're going to start off with fall sports.
Our first sport we're going to be talking about today is football.
Football, Michael, would you come here? What's your favorite thing in football? What's your favorite position to play?
My favorite position to play is probably quarterback, definitely.
Why?
You get to throw the ball, and you get to be the person who throws the ball to get the touchdown, so that's good. That's why I like it.
Also, what's one of your favorite things about the sport?
One of my favorite things is probably getting the touchdown. That's probably it. Yeah, definitely.
Anything about, like, teammates and stuff you would like to talk about, or, like, coach?
No, I don't think so. All right.
Let's bring Ellie B back.
I'm the best host.
And now we're going to talk about volleyball. We got an interview with our coach, Coach Wright. How was the volleyball team different from this year from last year?
Well, honestly, I saw a lot of improvement with our volleyball players. I could tell that they had been practicing together over the summer. And so the team, I saw a lot of improvement. I saw a lot of teamwork this year. And one thing that was really different was we weren't able to compete against other schools. We were able to play against the varsity, and we actually had some really close games against the varsity. But one thing that I really missed was being able to travel and to compete against other schools this year.
Another question, who was the most improved and who was MVP?
Well, I would like to give you the answer to that question, but that's something that I keep to myself until the banquet at the end of the year. So I can say that everybody showed that they were most improved. And as far as the most valuable player, that's going to be a really hard decision for me this year because the whole team worked together so well. It's hard for me to choose just one person that was the most valuable player on the team.
And then last question, what was your favorite part about coaching the volleyball team this year?
Well, here's my favorite part about it. I think we can all acknowledge that this was a weird, really bizarre, tough year. And we're wearing masks, we have to stay 6 feet away. But playing volleyball reminded everybody about what it's like to have fun again and what it's like to be with your friends. I'm sure you guys missed all of your friends being put into quarantine after spring break. And so my favorite thing was to see all of you laughing and having a great time together.
Thank you for letting us interview you.
All right, well, thank you for interviewing me.
So another fall sport that we have at school is cross country.
It's only for high schoolers, though.
Yeah, I wish I could do it. I can be in high school next year, though.
Yeah. And now we're with winter sports.
One winter sport that we have is basketball. And we did an interview with one of the coaches, Coach Antes.
Hi, I'm Ellie. We are here with Coach Antes today. She's the coach of the basketball and volleyball team. So Coach Antes, how is coaching basketball different than coaching volleyball?
Well, obviously the games are quite a bit different. Basketball is quite a lot of running back up and down the courts, and volleyball, although there's a lot of activity, there's not a lot of up and down on the courts. And there's a whole different game plans for either one, and they both can be very challenging.
How was coaching this year different from last year?
Well, it was a lot different because we've been coaching in a pandemic, and so there's a lot of new rules and expectations that we need to follow. And I think one of the biggest things that was is different than last year is we didn't have as many games. You know, we couldn't travel as much as we wanted to. We couldn't go to other schools. Other schools couldn't come here. And so we were limited in what we could do.
That's true. I wish we could have.
So, I mean, that was a real bummer. I mean, because I'm real proud of both of the teams, and I think we would have had well, we did have spectacular seasons, but I think playing other schools, I think we really would have done well. And so that was was very different.
Yeah, I wish we could have traveled too. It would have been a lot of fun.
I wish we could have people here too.
What is the most challenging part of coaching basketball and volleyball during a pandemic?
Well, I think I kind of touched on that we couldn't travel, we didn't have games. Also, challenging is also all the different sanitizing things we have to keep in mind. We have to keep our 6 feet distance, which is really tough in volleyball and in basketball. Athletics in a mask, that's very challenging. Running, the amount of physical activity that you have to do in a mask is difficult, so I need to keep in mind you need more water breaks, you need more time to rest because it is more difficult. And then sanitizing, you need to make sure everything's sanitized. Things you didn't think needed to be sanitized need to be sanitized. So it's been a challenging year, but you know what? I think it's been a good year. I think everybody that's come out has been really positive. And it's been a good year in the sense that I have more time to work with people, different positions wise, like you had firsthand experience. You got to work with some of the different positions in volleyball. I get to work with some of the 7th and 8th graders as well with positions in basketball. So it's really nice. I think you get a rounded knowledge of the game in both.
Yes, it was a lot of fun practicing with you this year. Thank you, and thank you for doing our interview.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Next, winter sport is soccer. We actually have a player with us today. Let's give it up for Ellie.
Thank you.
What was your favorite part about playing soccer this year than last year?
This year than last year? Well, this year, yes, there's smaller teams, and we have to play on little tiny fields, but we get to do tournaments this year. We didn't get to do that last year. Also, we have a combined team with the high schoolers and middle schoolers, so it's just one team this year.
So is it more fun having a combined team than, say, 2 different teams for high school and middle school?
Yes, because if we had one middle school team, we have 3 8th graders, and that's all. No one else joined it from 7th or 8th grade.
And the coach for the soccer team is Coach Lesner, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And next, we have Michael and Coach Gray.
For basketball. Okay, Mr. Gray. What was your favorite part about coaching basketball this year?
I'd have to say what was really great was the smaller team. I was very nervous going into the school year when I found out that we're going to have 5 basketball players. I was just like, well, no one gets a break. But it turned out to be a great growing experience. People obviously get extra time now to play, and it even gave me time to go out there and play a little bit more to keep myself trying to catch up with you guys.
How is coaching basketball different than coaching tennis?
Something I've realized over the last couple of years is coaching tennis and coaching basketball really isn't that much different. You are working the same muscles in your body, still has quite a bit of agility. The one thing that would be different is I would say tennis can be quite difficult when it comes to the tennis racket being an extension of your arm and being able to get the ball directly where you're wanting to hit it.
What has been the most difference coaching this year compared to last year?
Half the amount of students playing, and not being able to travel. So, though it might be time consuming, I would say the parents, and the basketball players really like going to different schools, different parts of Houston, being able to play other people and get to challenge themselves and see what else is out there.
Who do you think was your most improved player this year?
To be 100% honest, I was very impressed with the transition from last year to this year. Every basketball player surprised me with being able to shoot better, run better, rebound better. But we did have a new person on the basketball team this year, and that was Landon. And he has made great strides with rebounding and being able to lay up.
Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect for this year's tennis team?
We're very excited about tennis this year. I don't know exactly who's going to be on the team yet. Sign-ups will be in mid-February or beginning of February, and the season starts in mid-February. We don't have the exact date yet, but we'll be out on the tennis courts here at the school, and there will be a lot of conditioning, running around, a bunch of smiles. We try to work really hard, but there is definitely a lot of laughter on the court.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Hi, I'm Ellie, and we're here today with Coach Thomas. Coach Thomas, what was your favorite part about coaching swim team this year?
Well, I loved all of it, but I guess my favorite thing was getting to know all the athletes better and seeing them be successful in what they were doing. That was a lot of fun to do that kind of thing. Our goals for the team this year were to get to be better swimmers, to become physically fit, and to have fun. And I think we reached those goals, and so that really made it a great season.
Cool. How will next year be different from this year?
Hopefully, we will have actual swim meet competitions. If we can do that, then it will be a lot different. We'll have to structure it differently to prepare for the meets and do more time trials and that kind of a thing. So hopefully that will happen.
Since this is your first year coaching swim team, did everything go as expected? If not, how?
Yes, it went as expected, surprisingly so. The one big factor that was a wild card is the weather. Because we swim in an outdoor pool in the mornings before school, we did have to cancel a few days for cold weather. They don't take the cover off the pool if it's colder than 45 degrees outside. So basically our whole last week of swim team was canceled, so we didn't get to do any of the fun relays and things that I had planned. But other than that, that's the only thing that was a big surprise.
Okay. So great job to swim team with that interview.
Imagine how hard it would be, like, swimming in the cold and waking up early. I couldn't do it.
Neither could I. Those people must be real strong.
Next sport, well, which is spring sports, we have track.
Track is with Coach Dolan this year.
The track team, you have, like, all sorts of running, like 800s and miles and stuff, and then you have, like, shot put and disc and high jump and stuff.
Yeah. So, as I said before, it's with Coach Dolan. Last year it used to be with Coach Archer. It changed a little bit this year, but it's still going to be fun. So, next we have golf with Coach Gore. That's only a high school sport, though.
Yeah, but it's a lot of people would play golf if they say don't like tennis or track and field, and they just like golfing, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the sports we have at Briarwood. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been watching the Briarwood Sports Review podcast, brought to you by Mr. Krocak's third period. And remember, there's always next year.